Hey, Essiac friends. I wanted to share this with you via video because I know sometimes it's easier to listen to information rather than sit down and read it. And I shared this topic a few weeks back, so I'm going to recycle some topics that I've been working on and researching regarding Essiac and the different mechanisms that it helps with, including parasites. So, in general, Essiac helps to create a inhospitable environment in your body for parasites. It is used as a blood purifier, and it also, one of the herbs, which you'll find out soon here, does act as a dewormer. But in general, my thought on Essiac and parasites is to use it as something that detoxifies the body as you use typical antiparasitic herbs such as black walnut, cloves, stuff like that. So, we're going to go through this topic here. If this is interesting to you and you know somebody that loves this kind of stuff, please feel free to like and share this. I would love to get in contact with you if you have questions, of course. And I will link this blog post in my comments so you can see at the very bottom all of the research, all of the scientific journals and research that I've done to get this information to make sure that's appropriate, that it is accurate, according to science. So, because I believe science definitely has a place, but natural herbs also do as well. So, there's a functional health aspect that I will always approach my information at, intersecting at. Essiac and parasites. There are three types of parasites: protozoa, helminths, and ectoparasites. Let me scroll back up here. Protozoa is the first type. It's microscopic one-celled organisms which can multiply within the host and are transmitted by contaminated food, water, or person-to-person contact. A couple of examples here. We've got helminths, are large multicellular organisms, which we know most commonly as parasites, worms, right? They cannot multiply in humans, but adult forms are visible to the naked eye, and they're transmitted by ingestion of eggs or larvae in contaminated food or water. Examples include roundworms, tapeworms, pinworms, and flukes. The third type of parasite is an ectoparasite, and those are organisms that live outside of the host, generally do not multiply within the host, and are often spread through direct contact or bites. Examples include lice, fleas, and mites. Certain risk factors increase the likelihood of contracting a parasitic infection. Infected water is actually the most common, particularly in regions with inadequate or non-existent water treatment systems. International travel to destinations with poor sanitation and hygiene practices. Mishandled food, so common. It's a significant risk factor because food that's been mishandled, stored incorrectly, or undercooked, or even produce that hasn't been thoroughly cleaned can also carry parasites from contaminated soil, water, and improper storage. And then, of course, you've got direct contact, which is direct contact with infected individuals or animals. Now, these are very general symptoms, but I would say if you experience any of these and you're not sure where it's coming from, it's definitely a good idea to look into this, as it is more common than you think. And I'm in the US. I don't believe parasitic cleanses are talked about as often. I do see an uptick in talking about them, but other countries will do a parasitic cleanse once a quarter or twice a year. That's just a common thing, even if they're not experiencing, symptoms. So I will. I would definitely encourage you, if you're experiencing any of these symptoms, to speak with a healthcare professional first to make sure that the treatment option that you're going to go with will support your health protocol. But Symptoms can include anything from mild GI discomfort to nutritional deficiencies, chronic illness, and even severe organ damage. That's not to scare you, that's just to say if left untreated, it definitely can cause some havoc. Common symptoms include abdominal pain, gas and bloating, diarrhea, constipation, fatigue, skin rash, general itching, changes in appetite, food cravings, blood sugar imbalances, unexplained weight loss, and malaise. That kind of general feeling you have before you know that you're going to get sick, right? You've got that itchy, dry throat, or you've got that achiness before a flu, those kind of things. In some cases, parasites go dormant and reactivate when the immune system is weakened. Also, infections can be asymptomatic, no symptoms, which is why regular checkups are critical, especially after traveling to high risk areas. Now, detecting parasites, there are a few different tests that you can do. There is an ova and parasite test, which can detect protozoa and helminths, and it is a look into your stool sample for, you know, under a microscope for these different types of parasites. Now, for protozoa, there's also a PCR test, which can oftentimes offer faster and more sensitive results. For helminths, there's additional methods like endoscopy or blood tests if initial tests are inconclusive. And then for ectoparasites, which are the fleas, lice, mites kind of thing, skin scrapings, adhesive tapes, and visual inspections are most common. There are a few options for you if you suspect that you have parasites or you've gone through the testing and you find out that you do have them. Antiparasitic drugs like metronidazole, tinidazole. You've got herbal remedies, which we'll talk about, and how that's compatible with Essiac again, is herbal remedies that are known to kill parasites will help alongside Essiac, which cleanses the blood, detoxifies the body when parasites die off and remove those, they let go of those heavy metals and toxins in your bloodstream. So there are several methods to help cleanse the body from parasites. Cleanses typically involve using natural remedies, supplements, and dietary and lifestyle changes to remove parasites from the body. Certain herbs and lifestyle practices create an unfavorable environment for parasites. Remedies such as wormwood, black walnut hulls, clove, garlic, oregano oil have a long-standing history in traditional medicine for combating parasitic infections. There is a link to the research at the bottom of this post, but essential oils is really effective. And I will say that from personal experience, oregano oil, especially with black seed oil in it, derived from, so essential oils derived from herbs such as clove, thyme, oregano, and basil are recognized for their potential to eliminate parasite eggs and larvae. There's research that shows even when used in concentrations as low as 0.1%, 96% of nematode larvae were killed. So definitely an effective parasitic cleanse when you use just time-tested herbal remedies. Another way to combat parasitic infection is by enhancing stomach acidity. Your stomach acid should have a pH of around 1.5 to 3.5, but influences such as stress, aging, and diets high in processed food can lead to a more alkaline environment. Apple cider vinegar, taken before meals, can stimulate stomach acid secretion and aid in digestion. Again, that concept of making your body inhospitable to parasites. That's what you want. And naturally, our bodies try to do that, but we can help encourage that by doing these types of things. Another method is just making sure you're intaking plenty of probiotics. Probiotics are live beneficial microorganisms that provide various health benefits and may help the body defend against certain parasitic infections. Research has shown that probiotics enhance immune response and create natural compounds such as lactic acid and ruterin, which are potent antimicrobial agents. Incorporating probiotic rich foods such as yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut may help support in combating parasitic infections as well as overall digestive health. And then, last but not least, we've got keto and intermittent fasting. I would consult with a healthcare professional before going through keto or intermittent fasting because there are some cases where that's just not it's not going to be beneficial for your body. But many parasites thrive on glucose, and following a low carb diet can inhibit parasitic growth. Healthy keto also supports strong immune functions by reducing the inflammatory effects on high sugar intake. Intermittent fasting triggers a process called autophagy autophagy, a natural detoxification process in which the body recycles old and damaged cell material. This allows the enhancement of your immune system and provides improvements to overall cellular function. There are some risks to using parasitic cleanses. It's always advised to approach parasitic treatments with caution. Some actually can do more harm than good, causing side effects such as allergic reactions and GI upset. There are some compounds, such as juglone and artemisinin, which, while they're effective against parasites, can also be toxic to humans if they're not properly used. Overuse or misuse of treatments can also contribute to resistant strains of parasites, making infections more challenging to treat. It is advised to consult with a healthcare professional to ensure your chosen method is safe and appropriate for your specific health needs. If you experience any of these symptoms, I would highly recommend seeking medical treatment. Fever, headaches, severe diarrhea, bloody stools, vomiting, abdominal pain, confusion, vision problems, seizures, abdominal cramping, extreme thirst, elevated heart rate, and weakness. Now, the key is early intervention and hopefully prevention to prevent complications and ensure effective treatment. Now, the question is, can Essiac help with parasites? And I went through each of the 4 herbs and did a deep dive into the natural compounds that burdock, turkey rhubarb, slippery elm, and sheep sorrel have, and found that aside from one of them, the other 3 only provide an inhospitable environment and detox. So it is a complementing tea to have with a parasitic cleanse, if that makes sense. Burdock root is not typically classified as a primary herb for killing parasites directly, but it's widely used in herbal formulas to support the body during parasitic cleanses by acting as a blood purifier and helping eliminate toxins. Turkey rhubarb has strong laxative and purgative properties, which is why we use so little of it, I believe. In our Essiac blends, it's 2%, that help expel intestinal worms by stimulating bowel movements. So rather than it being an effective parasitic cleanse itself, it's a mechanical rather than antimicrobial or antiparasitic agent. But traditional Chinese medicine systems have historically used rhubarb for digestive complaints associated with parasitic infections, such as bloating and irregular digestion, but not really to rid the body of parasites directly. Again, to support it in its cleaning of the body as parasites are killed and are removed. Now, slippery elm is used to soothe and protect the digestive tract rather than just directly killing parasites. It makes it an inhospitable environment because it makes it difficult for parasites to attach to intestinal walls, potentially aiding in their expulsion. It reduces inflammation and coats the digestive lining. And of the 4 herbs, sheep sorrel is the last one, and it actually is used as a dewormer to eliminate intestinal parasites and worms. And it contains compounds considered toxic to intestinal parasites. It's also used as a natural dewormer and yeast overgrowth for pets. So, in general, I would use Essiac absolutely for the many other reasons we use Essiac for. But as it pertains to parasitic cleanses, I would use it as a way to purify the body and get rid of the toxins as they're being killed and toxins are being released into your bloodstream and all that. Now, if you liked this, again, I have references at the bottom and I will post a link in the comments below. But if you want to see all the research, it's all here as well. Please like and share, and I'll see you next time.